Good morning, good morning, good morning, my brothers and sisters. Good morning, and welcome to another Good Morning Grief devotion. It's your boy, Pastor Corey Allen Duncan Sr. So happy, so excited to have this wonderful opportunity to come to you today to lead you in a very special way in today's Good Morning Grief devotion. This is the daily grief devotion that is strategically designed to help you to navigate through your grief one day at a time. What is grief? I'm so glad you asked. Grief, my brothers and sisters, it is the natural, normal, and necessary response to loss, change, and transition that results in the expressions of feelings and emotions. That grief is what you feel on the inside. Mourning is how you reveal it on the outside. Therefore, we don't suppress it, but we express it. We don't ignore it, but we explore it. We don't conceal it, but we reveal it. We don't lock it up, but we let it out. And that's why we shout good morning, because mourning is a good thing. And I'm so glad that you're here with us on this morning as we lead you in yet another Good Morning Grief devotion. Today is day 309. This message is going to be right on time. We're going to talk about writing my grief can free my grief. Writing my grief can free my grief. Let's talk about it, y'all. I might not think of myself as someone who likes to write, but if I tried jotting down my thoughts and feelings in a journal, in a letter, in a computer file, I might find it freeing. I might not think of myself as someone who likes to write, but if I tried jotting down my thoughts and my feelings in a journal, in a letter, in a computer file, I might find it freeing. We say all the time, we start talking about grief, how it's natural, normal, and necessary. We talk about how grief is what you feel, but mourning is how you reveal what you feel. We always say we don't suppress, but we express. A lot of times we talk about the power and the importance of seeing a counselor or a therapist. We talk about grief groups. We talk about all of these things. I want you to know these things are outlets. These things are outlets where we can express outwardly what we're feeling inwardly. Um, and one of the greatest outlets is writing. One of the greatest outlets is journaling. One of the greatest outlets could be vlogging, right? One of the greatest outlets is all of these different things, whether it's by paper, by electronic device, but it's just getting out of you what's on the inside of you. And so a lot of times we just need to check in with ourselves. A lot of times we just need to get it out. This is what I've experienced, y'all. A lot of times we just need to get it out. There are things that we are feeling, things that we want to express, things that we want to say, and we just need to get it out. Journaling is one of the most powerful forms of grief and mourning, of navigating through this process, because it is an outlet. You don't have to wait. You don't have to set up an appointment. You ain't got to wait 2 weeks. You ain't got to see if they're going to be available, if it's going to line up. You can do that every day. You can do it in every instance. You can keep a log of what you're feeling. You can release it, right? You can express it, right? And it don't cost you a thing, right? And you can go buy a journal. That's about it, but it's not going to cost you a thing. And whether you write in a paper journal, whether you like to type, some people like to type. They got online journals. Whether you want to do a video journal and just keep it in your phone, right? There are so many different things you can do. But what's imperative is that you release. I tell you this all the time. Release brings about relief. Release brings about relief. A lot of times when people come see me one on one, they will inevitably say, I feel so much better, right? Oh, I feel so much better already. You know why? Because they came into the office, they cried. They came into the office and they talked. They came into the office and they were able to release their emotions. They were able to release what they were feeling. They were able to say what they needed to say. And it's not even the wisdom or the guidance that I give. It's just the opportunity to release, because release brings about relief. So I want to encourage you, and I want you to think about the power of journaling. And I love this because it gives you different ways to be able to do it. You might not think of yourself as a writer, someone who likes to write, but if you try jotting down your thoughts If you just jot down your thoughts, if you jot down your feelings in a journal, in a letter, in a computer file, in a video blog, right? It will make you feel better. Some people take on the notion you got this thing called healing out loud. There are some people that heal out loud. That means they post stuff regularly. They do videos, daily videos of how they're feeling, and they take people along their journey and they're healing out loud in real time. You see what they thinking, you see what they feeling, all that type stuff. The bottom line is you want to put yourself in a position, y'all, where you can release on the outside what you are feeling on the inside, right? So very important. Check this out. My grief includes thoughts and feelings that are hard for me to express. Some of my grief feels too intimate or unseemly to talk about, but it's safe to write about all of it. And in writing it down, I find that it's more approachable and even okay. There may be parts of your grief that may be too intimate, right? It may be too intimate. It may be too unseemly to talk about. You may not want to express outwardly these particular things. Well, guess what? A journal ain't gonna tell. A journal is a safe place. A video journal is a safe place. There are, and this is the thing. There are things you can do to release it. There are some intimate things. There are some detailed things. There are some unseemly things that you've been wanting to say, but have not had the safe place and the safe space to say. There's some stuff that you've been wanting to articulate, but you felt as if you haven't had the safe place or the safe space to articulate it. There's some stuff that you've been wanting to get off your chest, but you're thinking they're not gonna understand. They're gonna look at me differently. They just don't. I just can't do it. And this is the thing. Even though you feel it, and even though if you think that's true, you still need to release it. I don't care if you go to the top of a mountain and just scream it out, right? You need to release it. I don't care if you go to your room and bury your face in your pillow and scream it into your pillow. You still need to release it. And journaling is a way you can release, whether you're journaling in a journal, whether you're writing it on your computer, whether you are putting it in the notes of your phone, whether you're making a video about it, whether you say it to yourself in your car. There are things that you need to say, that you need to express, that you need to articulate, that you need. And if you don't feel like you can trust, you don't have a safe place or a safe space to articulate it, you still need to articulate it, right? And so so journaling is an awesome way that you may be able to do just that. Writing about my grief is a powerful tool. I might as well give it a try. Writing about my grief is a powerful tool. I might as well give it a try. Here's the final thought. I I open to expressing myself in many ways, including writing. I'm open to expressing myself in many ways, including writing. I know some people who have even done blogs and they write under an assumed name so nobody knows it's them, but they go in and they write and they express everything that they feel. There are so many different outlets, y'all, and this is just one of many. But I want to encourage you that perhaps this may be something very, very, very beneficial for you to put into practice, right? I want you to consider journaling. Today, my brothers and sisters, is day 309. I told you this message was going to be right on time. Writing my grief can free my grief. Writing my grief can free my grief. Writing your grief, it can free your grief. If you got questions or comments, I'll take them at this time. Anybody? Questions or comments? If you got questions or comments, questions or comments. To Misty Baker, good morning. You have one-on-one sessions? I do. I do. Just go to cohnd.org and um, there's a tab on there, one-on-one, like meeting with the pastor. And yep, cohnd.org. Just go and just fill out that request, and we can get a process for you. We can get a process for you. I needed this one as I'm having trouble releasing. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Did it not post? COHND. There it is. Yep. Yep. You can have yeah, it's all a process. It's all a process, Katina. And like I said, and there's some whether, I don't know if you've talked if you've spoken to anyone. So if you've seen a therapist or a coach or a counselor or anything like that, but there's so many different ways, so many different outlets, and definitely find what works great for you. And sometimes we need people. I mean, and this may be it. It's like, oh, this is the perfect outlet. Sometimes we need people to kind of help us release. Right? We got to have people to kind of help us, pull some stuff out, and so that may be beneficial as well. You may want to try that, go that avenue. Journaling has been a great comfort for me. Thank you, Stacia. Absolutely, I could see that for you too. I could definitely see that for you too. Um, yeah, that's good, and I'm telling you, it's so good. Yeah, I reposted it. I hope you got it. Did it show? I reposted it for you to Misty. Good morning. I have a stigma against journaling because someone found my journal, read it, and ridiculed me about the things in it. Yeah, and that's one of the things, um, and that's sad. I mean, they invaded your privacies, which they shouldn't have, right? Which is absolutely terrible. So I can definitely see the trauma that comes along with that. So that's why I'm saying there's different forms. You have the paper journal, right? But then you also have electronic journals as well. So there is and I forgot it, it's out there. I haven't done it in a while. But there are apps and there are websites where you can log in and journal if you feel like, man, I don't want anybody to find my stuff and go through it. Um, is it Penzu? I think it's Penzu, Penzu. I think that's one that I use. So it's a Penzu app. So they got electronic journals, things that you can do, things that you can use as well if you're kind of, worried about that shame or whoever was meddling and did that. So that may be an avenue as well for you to explore. Miss Marla. Anybody else questions, comments? Questions, comments, praying for y'all as y'all navigate through as you continue to navigate through your grief journey, lifting y'all up. As you continue to navigate through your grief journey. I appreciate y'all. Look, it's one day at a time. We take it one day at a time. And so y'all continue to take it one day at a time, and we going to make it. We going to make it. We going to make it. All right. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all with the love of the Lord. Look, I'll see y'all tomorrow, same time, same place, 8 a.m. Look, if you can't ever catch it right at 8 a.m., I always come back and catch the replay, right? You can always come back and catch the replay. It'll be there. It ain't going nowhere. Go on YouTube. You can binge watch all of them if you so desire, if it'll help you and be a blessing to you. So it's your boy, Pastor Corey Allen. I can see I love y'all with the love of the Lord. I'll see y'all tomorrow, same time, same place.